Yoshihiro Togashi, a mangaka that everyone raves about that know about him. But there's one question they've always asked: is he the greatest of all time? I remember seeing a video a little while ago by King of Lightning saying that he is the best shonen mangaka of all time. And for me, I never understood why people could say this without considering all the things that went against him. Even though he's a great writer, I just don't believe that he's in that conversation. Also, it's been 2 years since he dropped this video. Damn, I feel old. There are things going for him in his favor, as he has 2 top 10 mangas in the 90s decade, as well as Hunter x Hunter really being that good of a series. But I also think there's other conversations to be had about this. So, let's start where it all began, with Yu Yu Hakusho was the first manga he would publish under the Shonen Jump banner, as it's pretty good. I think everyone understands that it's great, but the biggest stain on his legacy is the unfinishedness of this manga, due to his back problems already starting to affect him at this early stage. Speaking of which, you read the title, yeah, this was the first time his back problems would start to give him trouble, as later on, it'd become really the main reason why he hasn't finished either of his manga yet. As a Yu Yu Hakusho fan, it really sucks that this manga never gets brought up in this conversation. It's always the next one he worked on, aka Hunter x Hunter. But I really enjoy Yu Yu Hakusho more than Hunter x Hunter. I know, hot take, but I just think it's far more enjoyable. I'll talk about it more in a second. Due to the back injury, the later half of the art in Yu Yu Hakusho isn't as good as the first half, and it really drops off due to that. Even the story also drops off because you can really tell he's in pain at that point. It was so bad that to this day, no one wants to talk about the Three Kings saga because it just gets really bad at that point. It even ends abruptly due to all the injuries. And now we can actually talk about the series that everyone wants us to talk about at this point, aka Hunter x Hunter is great, don't get me wrong, but I also think there's so many things about it that are overrated. Like, I think the characters people really like or think are cool aren't really cool because they're cool on their own. They're only cool compared to the main character, who everyone can agree isn't the best, as Gon is interesting, don't get me wrong, but everyone knows that he doesn't really hit his peak until like the Chimera Ant arc, and that's the end of his journey so far in the manga. The only 3 characters I think that are generally interesting are Karapika, Chrollo, and Hisoka, despite the fact that Hisoka be looking at Gon like this every time they run into each other. Honorable mention to Killua, because sometimes he can feel like he's important, other times he just feels like he's just there. The aforementioned 3 really carry the world building for this series because outside of them, no one else really has stories outside of Gon. No one else who does have stories outside of Gon don't really get fleshed out as enough to even for us to care. And due to that fact, that's why Karapika, Chrollo, and Hisoka have been introducing us to everything that's new in the world, because A, no one else really matters outside of Gon until Karapika does something, and Hisoka and Chrollo both do things as well that push the story forward. Also, due to the back injury, during the series, a lot of the panels are just words, and I can't blame him for it because A, he can't really draw as well as he used to, but still, it's like, damn bro, I don't care about this much inner dialogue. Just fucking fight. Shut the fuck up. God damn, nigga. One thing I hate is when an author doesn't understand how to tell information the right way in their story. The first way I see them do it wrong is they go very long time without explaining what's going on, and then they just pile it all out on once. And then there's other authors that just pile the information, keep piling it, without giving the audience any chance to understand what's going on. Hunter x Hunter is the victim of the second one, as you'll find out information right back to back and not really understand what's going on until much later when they're still continuing the conversation. As sometimes you can really cut half of these sentences in half, get to the point that you're trying to get to. One of the biggest praises of the series is the Nen system and just how complex and really good it is, but the problem with it being so complex is that every arc feels like a training arc, and so Karapika takes over the story after Gon's end. Compare this to Stands, where Araki chooses to only reveal a little bit about them each part. You can understand what's important for that part. Every arc does introduce something new about Stands, but we only learn a little bit and what's necessary to it. Or Chakra, something that everyone considers to be influenced by Nen, Kishimoto decides to keep it simple and sprinkle a little bit of information about it each time he needs to. Keeping it very simple makes it very successful, and a lot of people love Chakra as a power system. He actually managed to keep Hunter x Hunter going for a very long time before eventually in 2008 his back became a problem again. And ever since then, the series has never been on a consistent schedule, making it the moment he became the Derrick Rose of manga.
Look, we're looking to sweep you guys. You wanted us. You were crying out that you bypassed the harder team in Miami Heat.
Rose came down bad on his left foot. See him holding onto his knee and down.
Ever since that injury and the illnesses, he's become a what if. What if he was able to stay healthy? What if he was able to continue the Chimera arc at his peak of his powers? What if he could have actually been able to finish Hunter x Hunter by now? We still get great bursts of brilliance, such as the Chrollo versus Hisoka fight in the current arc right now, but every time we think he's back, he just goes straight to being injured again. For me, he can't be in the greatest of all time conversations. He doesn't have the longevity of a LeBron-like Rocky, or the wilt-like numbers like Oda, or the beautiful art of a Kentaro Mura. He's just not in those conversations. Hey guys, I know it's a short video, but that's because I'm working on the biggest project that I have yet, the discography video on Lil Uzi Vert. It might be 30 to 40 minutes long, so look out for that coming out near Christmas. There's going to be like 2 smaller videos coming in between it, so just be ready for it. Let me know in the comments if you think I was just yapping or do you actually agree with me. Well guys, chug some milk, take your vitamins. This has been Menoman, and I'll see you guys next time.
I made 50 bands off this laptop. I forgot, she make the bands